One of the biggest problems I see that a lot of people face, and in fact I face myself, is how to generate new business ideas. And in fact, on this very channel, I have quite a few videos that talk about, the various ways of making money online, and I have one called 60 ways to make money online, and so many different things. Now, all of that information is brilliant, and I really encourage you to go ahead and watch those. But I was thinking about what type of content to create today, and I was inspired by my team, and I thought I'd share with you sort of the strategy that I use to generate business ideas, product ideas, and headline ideas, subject line ideas for emails, hooks, and all of these things. In fact, it's the same thing. I just use it across different formats according to what it is that I'm working on. So this is going to come in really, really handy for you, and you're going to find yourself using this every time you're thinking, oh, I need to create something new. You're going to use this idea. So if that sounds good to you, I want you to stick around until the end of this video. But if it is your first time watching me, welcome to my channel. I'm Pam Obasa, the founder of The Lucrative Lady. And on this channel, I talk about all things sales systems, social media, and in fact, I have one goal and one goal only, and that is to help you to create a lucrative business, a business that gives you more money, more time freedom, and all of that good stuff. So hit that subscribe button, turn on your bell, and please give this video a thumbs up because it lets me know what it is that you like, so I can create more of that. But welcome and stick around. Now, business ideas. I've been running businesses since I was 17. So at the age of 17 was the first time that I created my very, very first business. And I would say that at the age of 19, 20 was when I had a super successful business, as in it was a six-figure business. And it was a business that I created, with my then boyfriend, who is now my husband. And when I thought about the content that I want to share with you today, I realized this is actually something that I've been doing way back when, but it wasn't systemized. It wasn't something that I knew how to do. And so since that time, I've been in several different industries, and I've launched several businesses and several different products. And I can tell you that coming up with successful business ideas is one of the hardest things. And the reason it's one of the hardest things is because people have no idea. That's one reason. Reason number two is because their ideas are too few. And so because of that, they haven't actually given themselves the time, the space, or they have nothing to work off because you don't have enough ideas to go off. And what I find is people don't like research. A lot of people don't take the time to research and to really figure out and to brainstorm. My goodness, brainstorming is one of the most powerful things that you can do. So very recently, as we're moving into 2022, I had a meeting with my team, and I said, we're going to be running a lot of boot camps in 2022. Now, together we're going to come up with some ideas. I had a ton of my ideas that I wanted to share with them. I had done the process that I'm going to share with you, and I had done it, and it really, really helped us to create the step-by-step plan for 2022. And in fact, if you check out this video that I recorded, I shared my process for creating a step-by-step marketing plan, so check that out. So in this video, I want to walk you through how to brainstorm a ton of ideas, how to brainstorm. Now, when it comes to brainstorming, there is one rule only, and that is that you don't stop until you hit 10. So you don't stop until you hit 10. So when you're thinking about business ideas or product ideas or headlines or hooks or anything where you need an idea because you want to make it successful, by the way, I'm using my iPad, and my team are going to pop it on the screen so that you can see what I'm doing on my iPad. You want to use the rule of 10. So what I begin with, if I can turn these pages, let's open a brand new page, right? So we need the rule of 10. Okay, so the first thing you want to think about is you want to know who the ideal person is. So who is the person who you're going to be giving or sharing this thing with? So if it's a product, who is the ideal buyer, right? If it's a program or a service, who is the ideal client? That's the question you want to ask yourself. If it's an email you're writing, who is the ideal reader, right? Who is the other person? If it's a business idea that you're coming up with, is who is the ideal customer or the ideal client? Who is that person? You've got to think about that person. Then the first thing you want to come up with the rule of 10 is number one, pain points. So what you want to do is you want to come up with 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 10 pain points. for this person or this group of people. So let's say, for example, in my business, I work with a lot of people, a lot of women actually, who are just starting their businesses, and majority of them want to get into coaching, right? Or the majority of them have a really high money goal, and we know that coaching is the best route to that. So what are some of the pain points that I can think of? So off the top of my head, I know that when people are starting in this industry or starting out online, one of the biggest pain points is wasting too much time on social media. That's a big pain point. Another pain point that they have is lack of leads. Another pain point that they might have is lack of sales, right? Just see my point. So I start and I list out 10 pain points for my ideal client or the ideal buyer or whoever it is that I'm talking to. So I want you to, if you're doing this in real time, I want you to pause this, right, and do that exercise, listing out pain points, and don't stop until you get to 10. Now, can you do more than 10? Yes, you certainly can do more than 10, but it's the rule of 10. So that means that you are only allowed to stop when you've gotten to 10. So you can do more than 10, but you cannot do less than 10. So the first is pain points. The second thing you want to do, I'm going to draw a line next to this. Let's move this down. So number 2 is their desire, right? Their desire. So you want to think about, what is it that this group of people, or group of people, so the clients or whoever it is that you are trying to generate ideas for, right? If you're creating a product or creating an offer or creating a business idea, what is their desire, right? It's for somebody else. When you're creating an idea, it's never for yourself. Yes, you are the one executing, but it's really about them, because guess what? They're the ones who are going to pay you. So it makes sense that we build it for them. So you've got to think, what is their desire? So we've talked about who the ideal client is. We've then talked about their pain points. Now, what is their desire? You follow the rule of 10. So you start with 1, 2, 3, 4, and you go all the way once again to 10. So what is their desire? So let me give you a couple of examples of my ideal clients. Their desire is time freedom. Time freedom. They also desire computer-free holidays, right? What else do they desire? They also want to be able to be their own boss. They also want to be able to have limitless income, right? I could keep going on the desire front. I could write 50 from the top of my head right now, right? But it's the rule of 10. So that means that you do a minimum of 10. So you've done 10 of your pain points, 10 desires. This is incredibly important. Now, what you do next is really, really important. So I'm going to turn the page over here. So let me close this. Let's open another page. Let's turn the page, right? So then what you do, I'm going to draw you're going to write down product / business ideas. Product / business ideas. And so for this, what you want to do is you want to take every pain that you came up with and every desire, and you want to use this formula. So you want to do pain plus desire equals to money making idea, right? That's how you want to do it. So if I go back, so let me go back and flick back and have a look at the pain. So we know that product number 1. So let me get this back up. So let's focus over here. This is pain number 1. Pain number 1, according to my list, is wasting time on social media. That's a big pain. And you've got to understand that whenever you create a business or you generate an idea or you create a product, an offer, anything like that, people pay you for solving a problem. That's why we are talking about pain points over here, okay? They pay you for solving a problem. And the way that you sell it is you use the desire to sell it. But that's on the side. Let's talk about the problems. So the first problem is wasting time on social media. That is the problem. So now I'm going to lift that. Let's take this. Let's go back to the next page over here. So I know that number 1 was wasting time on social media. Now, from there, so with each of these pains and the corresponding desire, you've now got to try your best to come up with, again, the rule of 10, a minimum of 10 ways that you can solve this problem. So If I had clients who, one of the biggest pain points is that they're wasting so much time on social media, I could, for example, rule of 10, so number 1, I could teach them Instagram. Right? 2, I'm going to write really fast because it's a brainstorm. So that's the key with brainstorming. Don't overthink it. Just put it down on paper. So I could teach them Instagram. I could teach them stories. So Instagram stories. 3, I could teach IG Reels. I could teach Facebook. 5, I could teach captions, how to write them really, really fast. 6, I could teach them content batching. Let me erase that. Oops. Content. 7, I could give them pre-created content pieces. I could give, number 8, give content calendar, or teach them how to create one. You get my point, right? So I've stopped at number 8 for the sake of this recording, but normally I wouldn't stop at 8. I'd go to a minimum of 10, and I'd keep going way past 10 until I have run out of ideas. Now, I have done this for just the first of my problems. So if we go back to this, right, over here, you can see that I was only here, right? I was here. Now, imagine doing that 10 times for number 1, then 10 times for number 2, then 10 times for number 3, then number 4, then 5, then 6, then 7, then 8, then 9, then 10. 10 times 10 is what? 100. So therefore, you end up creating 100 ideas of products and offers and services and business ideas. I mean, you can never run out of things to create or things to sell or things to offer to your audience if you follow this brainstorm activity that I'm sharing with you. So that's a minimum of 100 things that you have now created. Now, what do you do with that? There is one more step that I want to share with you. So let's flip this. In fact, let's flip this even more. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to now split your ideas, your 100 ideas, into 3 categories, right? So you're going to follow the 3 P's for your 3 categories. So I'm going to draw 2 lines over here and here. Category number 1 is park. Category number 2 is pause, P-A-U-S-E, pause, and put to action, right? These are the 3 categories: park, pause, put to action. I sort of use the traffic light symbol. So this would be red, right, over here. Let's show an arrow. And this would be amber. And this over here, let's use this as our green. I don't have a proper green here. Or rather, I haven't selected the proper green, but let's just go with this for now. So now you can understand what I'm trying to do here. What you need to do is you need to check your 100 ideas, and you now need to divide them into these 3 categories. Number 1 is park, right? So over here. Park is, what are some of the ideas that are on your list that you know you're not going to execute on, right? Either because it's too hard, it's too expensive, it takes too long, it doesn't make sense, you're not excited about it, any of that, you're going to park it. So over here, if I go here to hard, expensive, too long, right? Not fun, not valuable for your ideal client, you're going to park it. You're going to find that the majority of your ideas are going to be parked, right? So don't be afraid to park those ideas, because earlier when I said you're going to have 100 ideas when you finish doing this exercise, I'm sure a couple of you might have gasped like, oh my God, but listen, you're not going to execute on all of those ideas because you don't need 100 ideas. You just need the one that's going to really hit it. But in order to find that one, you've got to first have the 100, okay? So we've talked about parking. Now let's talk about pause. What does this mean? pause essentially means something that you know, right? It's not too hard, so not too hard, right? It's not too hard. It might be expensive, but it could be okay to do. It might not take too long to do, but it's not fun. It might be valuable, but the most important thing is not yet time. So sometimes you might look at some of these ideas and go, this is a really good idea, but not for now. It's for later, right? It's exciting. You know it's going to work, but it's not for now because you know, I don't know where your life is right now and some of the things that you're focused on right now. You just know it's not the right time. So you're going to pause on that because you're going to come back to it later. And then, of course, we all know what the green stands for. Green is for go, go, go. In that section on the right-hand side that you can see there where it says put to action, these are the things that you plan to put to action within the next 3 to 12 months, right? So you know that across the whole year, this is what you're going to be focusing on. You're going to put it to action. Now, in the green section, perhaps you might choose to have only 3 ideas, and that's okay. Don't try to have 50 ideas. That's not going to work. In fact, I would say that 80% of this needs to go to be parked. A good 80%. And then another 15% needs to be paused, right there in the middle, whilst the final 5% is what you actually focus on. So that means that you're focusing on the cream of the crop. You're focusing on the very, very best stuff. Now just imagine if you only came up with 5 ideas, right? Well, what would you do with that? And that's what most people do. And I put my hand up, no judgment, that's what I used to do. Now I go through this deep dive and I give myself the best opportunity because I'm really looking for that 5%. That's all I need, right? My very top ideas are the ones that I'm going to execute on based on my goals. So I hope this has been really, really helpful to you guys. Let me know if it has been, if you like this way of brainstorming, or if it's something that you're going to try. I really hope that it is useful. It has worked for me and it helps me massively. So before you go, I alluded to it earlier, but I want you to check out this video where I shared with you my step-by-step method for creating your marketing plan for 2022. So make sure you check that out. It's very similar to what I've taught you in terms of the way that I taught it, and I mapped things out on my iPad so that you can see how I'm doing it. So it's very, very practical. Don't forget to check that out. That's all about how to create your marketing for 2022, the step-by-step plan. Check it out. Before you go, don't forget to leave me a comment. I love reading your comments. It means a lot to me, and I'll be honest, because it tells me that I'm doing the right thing. So leave me a comment, let me know, how this video has been of value to you, and that would be brilliant. I read everything and I respond to everything. I'll see you in my next video. Make sure you check out that video, and I'll see you soon. Take care. God bless. Bye.